Hello, everyone, and we are here with another very, very special thing that I can't really do. I've been rewatching Supernatural. I started watching Supernatural in the 10th grade, I think, and it's taken me all this time, and I'm still not finished season 5. But anyway, I recently restarted, picked up where I left off, watching season 5, and I just said, you know what? A lot's changed since then. I've got a YouTube channel now that I am pretty active on. Why not do reviews of it? So that's what we're doing. So I watched the episode 99 Problems, season 5, episode 17, I believe. And I decided, you know what? I'll review it. Let's talk about it. So, we start the episode off, Sam and Dean on a hunt. They get saved by a group of people who are like, yeah, those are demons, and the apocalypse is coming. And they're like, oh, what? So they eventually follow those guys, and they head back to their town, and their town is like a hunter's paradise. It's like got like symbols and all. Everyone in the town knows there's demons, and they head into the church, and there's like people making like salt guns and salt pellets and all that stuff. They have like 3 weddings at the same time because everyone's like, well, it's the apocalypse type thing. And yeah, they're like, what the hell is going on? And they find out that there's this preacher and his daughter is a prophet. And she's like, their town, eventually she'll say that, like, their town has been chosen by the angels, so that way when the Michael Lucifer battle ends, this town will be saved, and they will get to live on Earth after that. So of course, Sam and Dean got a bit. Well, Sam mainly has a bit of skepticism. The prophet, she eventually is like, the angels have told her there's rules, like, no one can drink, no one can have premarital, no premarital funny business, and no, what was the other one? No drinking, no funny business before marriage. I can't remember the other one. But Sam remarks to Dean, he's like, are you okay with this? It took away like 80% of your personality. And there's also a curfew, so you gotta abide by the curfew. Eventually, Sam talks to like this guy who runs a bar. And earlier, the guy he remarked that the apocalypse, business has been booming in the apocalypse, and then eventually, because of these new rules, drinking's one of them. So the guy's like, no one's at the bar. The guy and Sam share some drinks because he's just like, well, I'm not really a believer, but I'm not gonna start now. He goes, if I'm going to hell, I'm going honest. Well, hey, I can almost respect that. And eventually, because of curfew, Sam has to leave. He comes back. He and Dean have a bit of a thing. A bit of a fight where Dean's he doesn't care about anything. Sam tells him that they've cut off cell towers. There's no internet, no TV signals, total cut off from the outside world, and Dean just doesn't care. Eventually, the prophet girl, she goes to her father and she says, we're not going to go to paradise because some people are listening. And they go to the bar with the dude. And the people there in the town, they're like, you got to leave town because we're not going to go to paradise. And we're not going to get all the stuff, right? So, that guy's like, I'm not leaving town. This is my town. You want me out here to drag me out. And he is shot by a woman whose son was killed in a hunt. And the prophet had told her that, oh, your son will come back on Judgment Day, our final day. And obviously this woman wants her son back, so she shoots him. Now, that is not an excuse to shoot and kill a man, but it's the type of thing where you can kind of see what's going on inside her head. She's not thinking right. She's just thinking, I want my son back. Castiel in this episode kind of shows up. He tells Sam and Dean was going on. He is drunk. He went to a liquor store and he drank. It is later seen that he's doing this to cope with the fact that God has pretty much just left the earth to deal with the apocalypse. And Dean's kind of like, I got a history with deadbeat dads. I know how you're feeling. Then we have who's the villain of this episode, right? That's the big question. Well, the villain is the prophet, because they tell Castiel about her, and he's like, she's not a prophet. And it's like, we're pretty sure. And he's like, no, all the names of the prophets are seared into my memory. She's not a prophet. So what she is she's described as, oh my god, I don't know if I can say this on YouTube. That's the best way. The ore of Babylon. But you can fix the thing before that. She's the ore of Babylon. And and Castiel says she comes when Lucifer is about to rise, and she spreads false truths. So her whole plan is not to send all these people to heaven. Her plan is to condemn this whole town to hell by having them turn on each other and all that. So eventually we cut back to the church, and there's people locked in a cupboard, and she's like, they are sinners, and she's got a couple people with her, and she tells them, get like the lighter fluid, we're gonna light them up in that cupboard because they're sinners, and with them gone we can go to paradise. And eventually Sam and Dean are like, okay, well, how do we kill her? And they're like, you need someone who's a servant of God. And they're like, can you do it? And Castiel goes, well, I'm a poor example of an angel, I can't really do it. And his faith in God is pretty much gone at this point. He said, Sam can't do it. He's an abomination. Dean's not going to do it because, well, he's Dean. And so then they decide, okay, we'll get the preacher guy. If you're wondering how does the preacher guy not know his daughter is this thing, they explain that, like, the ore killed his daughter and took her form, pretty much. So they tell him what he's got to do. He doesn't want to do it, but, eventually, obviously, he convinces himself to do it. He finds her, goes to kill her. She escapes. She tells all the people, oh, my father and them are demons. You have to kill them, So big fight ensues. The father is getting beaten down. She climbs onto Dean and starts choking him. And she starts, trash talking him. And Dean grabs the stick that they need, which is like a branch from like a tree of Babylon or something like that, and stabs her. And it actually kills her. So Dean was a servant of God, and apparently. And they're all like, how'd you do that? Sam's like, how'd you do that? Dean goes, I don't know. So they're patching up the preacher guy back at their hotel. Obviously, they stay in a hotel. Dean leaves the hotel, says he's going to go get some bandages from the car. He drives the car away, and he goes to... I forget her name. Is it Lisa? She's the one from the episode with the kid Ben. Where it's like, is this Dean's son? She's from that episode. I'm gonna look it up right now. I am looking at this up right now because I don't want to get this wrong. I've already got it wrong, but What is her name? It is Lisa. Yes, I was right. So Dean goes back to her and he tells her, whenever I think myself happy, I imagine it with you and your son. Which is nice. I really liked this scene with Dean going back to them and telling her how he really felt and that she embedded what he wants in life. He tells her, you're going to see some stuff in the next couple of days. It's going to be really weird, but don't worry. You and Ben will be safe. The people I'm going to meet will keep you safe. So we've already said that, like, Dean's gonna go say yes to Michael. And that does make sense because these past couple episodes, Dean's faith has just broken and died. She's like, well, you can't just drop a bombshell like that and leave me. And he goes, and she invites him in. And she goes, like, you know, just stay until Ben comes back. Because I think she said Ben was at, like, soccer practice or something. And Dean goes, no, it's better if I don't. He gives her a little kiss and walks away. And that's the end of the episode, pretty much. I liked this episode, especially... The past couple episodes have all been, like, the Four Horsemen. What's leading up to the apocalypse. And I liked this one, too. I just like it how, like, every episode is now leading up to the apocalypse. They're facing a horseman one episode. This time they're facing someone who's not a horseman, but is because the apocalypse is coming. And I really liked the scene at the end with Lisa and Dean and Ben. Well, no, Ben. Ben's not there. But you know what I mean. I really liked that. And I am very interested to see what happens next episode. So yeah. That's going to do it for my review of Supernatural 99 Problems, Season 5, Episode 17, I think. Overall, out of 10, I give it an 8 out of 10. Really good episode. That's going to do it. Let me know what you guys thought of the episode in the comments down below, and I'll see you all next time.